Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the one who will save us all. Now, I liked the banter and everything that was going on between Talbot and Coulson in this episode, mainly in the beginning, but overall, it got just really kind of frustrating. And I just think that this premise of the time travel and everything has truly and utterly outstayed its welcome. I kind of would rather like it done in kind of the arcs that it was done in the previous season, because I'm just getting fed up with it and all the consequences and repercussions of what's going on. So, the beginning of the episode pretty much starts out with Talbot taking Coulson up to the Remorath ship and going inside. They're like, something's docked with us and everything. Okay. And we see that Coulson and Talbot kind of go, and we see them bantering back and forth. Like, Coulson going, well, you kind of skipped the tutorial and went, like, big boss level. And he's going, well, I kind of need my best wingman with me. And at first you're thinking, okay, they got kind of some stuff going on. And they're kind of bamboozled of everything going on. Like, why would you filthy humans just get on my ship and everything? Screw you people. And, of course, Talbot starts kind of flexing his powers and everything, and pretty much goes all kind of Zod, telling them to kneel before him. And it's just like, okay. And Coulson is kind of confused, but Coulson is like the best part of this episode. Granted, he gets into a bad situation at the end, but he was my favorite part of this episode. So while he's trying to deal with a kind of crazy ass Talbot who's pretty much just like crushing people left and right, we get back to the base and they're all trying to figure out what's going on. Fitz is trying to get the computer stuff back up and running, but of course we see that Deke still wanted to be able to do that. Deke's another great one. He's just friggin' awesome. So they get everything back up. Daisy's able to get back in, and we get the kind of stupidest fight between her and Yo-Yo. And it almost got to the point that I'm like, Daisy, just kill Yo-Yo. I mean, I started actively envisioning scenarios where Daisy just quaked her, took her arms, and beat her to bloody death with the arms. If only that would have broken the time loop. Now granted, I understand that's not Daisy. But I kind of need that because Yo-Yo is becoming insufferable. And just, she's like, because of you, Coulson got captured and everything. And she's like, well, what's so important in that? And grabs the bag and everything. Of course, they start fighting. She's like, oh, you're going to use your powers now? You're going to lose. And then she, like, smacked Daisy with her super speed, but then she quaked her up against the wall and everything. Of course, Big Mama May came in and just was like, stop your shit, kids. We have more important business to attend to. And then goes on. We see that Mac is just kind of distancing himself from Yo-Yo. Mac also, of course, getting under the base. And pretty much telling Fitz that that's not how we do things. And he's really needs to look at himself and who he's becoming. I'm like, Mac, you're kind of becoming kind of stupid as well. Because at one point, they have him sweeping this thing to check to make sure that all his soldiers are dead. And he's like breaking all of his like movie knowledge that he's been doing. Like sci-fi horror and all that stuff. And he checks the body and he taps at it. I'm like, you have a shotgun axe. You blow that thing's head off, or you cut that thing's head off, and move along. Because the dude then got up, did some odium, and bum rushed at him, and he pretty much shot off like 5 shots into him. And then he's like, don't kill him. I was like, fine. And then he kind of knocks him out. Well, I guess 5 shotgun shells should weaken an odium-crazed person enough to be kind of captured. I don't know. But evidently they capture him and they're trying to get information out of him, which is stupid. But we get some interesting information from him that the Confederacy has been more than 1,000 years old, and that they made slaves and all that kind of jazz before he he just dies because of the Yoda. And they're like, okay. And then Mac and Mary are like, hey, Simmons, why don't you guys check that thing to figure out what's going on? She's like, oh, now? Okay. Like, I don't know, there could be more important business to attend to, but okay. So, she goes off to do that. Before we get back with her, we see that Daisy is just kind of like in her room and all that. Deke's coming in to check on her. And he's like, hey, what's that? And she's like, my mom. And he's like, alright. And this was another great part of the episode. Daisy's like, yeah, some freaky dude put a prank of like all these lemons on my bed. And it's just like, he's like, oh yeah, that sounds like classic Fitz and everything. He's like, well, I got something to tell you. And Daisy starts, of course, giving her spiel about how she has to rescue Coulson because he's like one of the only people left. She lost Lincoln and all that, and you can see kind of the pain on Deke's face of her being like, I don't know if I can be close to anyone again kind of thing. And it was really good acting at this part because Daisy's doing a good job of selling why she is acting the way she's acting. And granted, we understand of how she was pulled in this season, how she was pulled back in after her vigilante kind of Quake ways. But this did a better job of laying the groundwork of why she's doing her decisions. We don't have very clear character consistencies on certain things, or when their motivations are explained, they kind of contradict the characterization and character depth and development that we have had before. That's kind of my biggest issue with pretty much anything nowadays, in that we get to a certain point in a timeline in a certain show where just they do whatever they want with characters and damn the consequences. So Deke, of course, then switches gears, and instead of telling Daisy that he likes her, he tells Daisy about Fitz and Simmons being his grandparents, which, of course, is just another funny thing that's going on. I was like, yeah, okay. I got you with that. Alright. That's kind of freaky and kind of cool. So that's where that ends up. We see, excuse me, Daisy then goes in and tells Simmons to stop dissecting the dead dude and to instead work on her mom's dead body. Evidently, I guess, to get like in the bone marrow, which her healing powers could have been in, to do the stuff with the centipede thing. And of course, Simmons then brings up this whole morality thing of should we, and Daisy's like, no, do it. And I'm almost going to the point of you kind of threw morality out of the window when you're like, I am invincible! Let's do this! I'm trying to break this. But if we do that, we're not invincible. It's just weird how they're having qualms about certain things, but not others. I don't know. Like, okay, this is where that's going. So they've got the Zephyr all retrofitted to be spacified, be able to go in outer space, and they go off to do their Coulson rescue mission. So while that's all cut up, we'd seen that they had gathered the rest of the Confederacy, where they've got like 6 seats, like the Collusians, the Rajaks, and the Astrans, while there's also the Remoras and 2 other warrior clans. But Talbot has taken control of the ship. They gave him some swanky robes, and he's like, I can see if they can rustle up some of them for you, Phil. And he's like, no, I'm okay. So they take Talbot to the Confederacy group meeting, and they're like, this is stupid. Screw you, Earthlings. And like, we're all equal here and everything. And this one dude was supposedly like the wisest, and Talbot used his gravitonium to eat him. And said, hey, there's a space on the council now, so I'm here. And then the rest of them kind of like dissipate, and we finally also get to see Cassius' father, Tarian. And we had been told about like gravitonium before by Quovas, talking about how it's like unlimited, it can bend space and build empires and destroy empires. And of course when we see Cassius brought into it, they pretty much try and take Talbot's already screwed up mind and pretty much bend it to their will, and talk about Thanos is the one that's going to destroy your planet, and you're pretty much screwed. But Talbot has gotten into his head that he can defeat Thanos. Now, I'm glad that they did this Infinity War tie-in, But Talbot's like, I can defeat Thanos. They just told me that there's like more gravitonium under Earth, so I just need to dig deep enough, get it, power up, and beat the crap out of Thanos. Then I'm going to be the best weapon, and nobody will screw with Earth again. I'm like, no. No. I kind of just wanted Thanos to pop up and just beat the crap out of him. It's pretty bad when you get to a point where he's acting like an asshole, telling Phil to stop second guessing him. Coulson had even gotten Hale to try and help him get Talbot under control, but she starts kind of doing her own kind of thing. And Talbot thinks that Phil's always lying to him and everything. He's also got now 3 other people in his head. This is, of course, where it starts to intersect with the point of the S.H.I.E.L.D. team coming in. He thinks S.H.I.E.L.D.'s coming to take him down or whatnot, even though, technically, by their rationale, they would have thought that they would have been captured by the aliens, so it would have technically been a rescue mission from the aliens. But hey, Talbot got to be a dick. Who knew? So, Hale's kind of playing both sides, but of course, Daisy comes in, tries to use her powers. Not really working out. Of course, Hale and Daisy kind of try and use their own thing that they were trying to do with Ruby. Doesn't work in Hale's case because Talbot gets pissed off at her and crunches her. Daisy, of course, tried to do more to defeat Talbot, but she gets knocked out. And he was pretty much using Coulson as leverage, and May backs down as well. And we see that Talbot's now in control, complete control, at least at this point, of an alien warship, and that Daisy has been given to Tarian. I don't know where that's going. I kind of almost don't care at this point. I just want this season to be over with. I don't care how it... I mean, I do care how it ends because I like the characters. It's just this whole season I have just not liked. I mean, there's been parts of it that I do like, but overall, I don't think that this arc has really done much other than spin wheels, to be honest with you. It really hasn't advanced as much as I would have hoped, and because see, it started with such promise. I was thinking, okay, maybe since S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of on the back ropes, we're going to get introduced to S.W.O.R.D. or something, and they'd have to go intergalactic or something for a season and deal with all these kind of stuff, and that's how it would tie into Infinity War. But no. So I kind of like that we kind of had a controlled Talbot, but he flipped too quickly to uncontrollable kind of Talbot, with also no explanation really as to why he can control the powers more than Ruby could have. I mean, I don't need it spelled out, but I'm like, he is definitely controlling these powers to a degree that not even people who have recently gained superpowers can usually do. So maybe we'll get an explanation. I don't know. I just want this to end. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.